Hello everybody, I am not Gary.
I'm not Oscar.
Hey. Oscar, Gary.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a late review for Edge of Tomorrow, directed by Doug Liman and stars Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, Bill Paxton and Brendan Gleeson. Now, the premise of Edge of Tomorrow is essentially we're in the future in this war, and Tom Cruise plays a soldier who goes into this war, and through a series of events he finds out when he dies he restarts the day, and it's Groundhog Day meets Elysium, I'll put it that way. And along the way he meets Emily Blunt, and they team up, and along their way an adventure commences. Now, as I said, Doug Liman did direct this film, and before this he directed The Bourne Identity, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Jumper, to name a few. I think Jumper was his last film that he's done. Going into this film, I wouldn't say I was excited, I was intrigued, just because of the premise, and I just thought it could be cool, and it had an Elysium vibe to it, and which I liked Elysium quite a bit, so I was like, I'll give it a go. I wasn't expecting anything grand or big or anything, I was just thinking to myself, this could be a fun time.
Well, I watched Oblivion last year. I loved Oblivion.
You did a review of it.
I did a review of it. Go check that out.
You know what, we'll put them down in the description for Gary's review for Oblivion.
So I was expecting something fantastic out of this movie because I watched Elysium. I watched Oblivion. I did watch Elysium as well. So I watched Oblivion. I loved Oblivion. I love Tom Cruise in a sci-fi movie. I know he hasn't done a lot of sci-fi stuff, but
so you were excited.
I was pretty pumped for this. It was a fantastic movie. Nothing I was expecting once I seen it, where he relives the day over and over again.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Nothing, because I didn't...
Oh, so you barely knew even the...
I barely knew it.
Oh, wow, okay. I knew that bit to it, yeah.
So I was like... I was looking forward to every moment he sort of came back to relive the day. So I was like more adventurous. I love the adventure in this movie. Cinematography was fantastic. It had that sort of Elysium style to it. Acting was fantastic. Tom Cruise he was brilliant in this. He's like the same in every movie. He's like, I love him in every movie, no matter what he does. Top Gun, Oblivion, Edge of Tomorrow, Mission Impossibles. Emily Blunt was good. She kind of played a Victoria role. If you haven't seen Oblivion,
I was going to say,
you won't know who Victoria is, but she was that sort of role to him. Bill Paxton, unrecognisable in this movie as well.
Game over, man.
Bill Paxton.
Game over.
I love Bill Paxton. It's just the way he looks at Tom Cruise every time he does things, because he's already lived the day again.
Yeah.
So he's weird in this movie because he's got a beard. He's
got a moustache.
He's got a moustache. That's it, not a beard. He's got a moustache and he's unrecognisable in this movie because he's wearing all the kit. Visual effects are gorgeous, but apart from the monsters.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan.
Okay.
The monsters.
Okay. The aliens.
They looked fake.
If you are a liker on the Heel Pictures Facebook page a while back, you might remember that I posted a picture of the very first screenshot of this film, which, when it was originally just called All You Need Is Kill, which is the name of the manga this is based on, it was literally just a screenshot of just an explosion covering the frame with Tom Cruise running in a robot suit. And I posted that picture, I said, whatever this is, this looks stupid. And I wasn't really interested because it literally just looked generic, stupid sci-fi action with Tom Cruise going, explosion! When I walked out of the cinema from it, I went back on my word. This is not a stupid sci-fi film. This is a fantastic film. A film, not just a cool action sci-fi movie. It's a great film. If it wasn't for X-Men Days of Future Past, I would say this was the best summer blockbuster this year. It's a great fun film, but it's not stupid. It makes you think. It
made me think a few times. I was like, watching it, I was like,
When I walked out of it, instantly I thought, like, this was just something fresh, and it just felt new. It felt just, this is nice. Because, I mean, we've seen this premise before. We saw, as I said, we saw it in Groundhog Day, which is a fantastic comedy. It's like this it just felt nice to see this type of film because of the way that it blended that story with the sci-fi action part of things. When I think of this film, this film feels like a video game, and not just because of the look, like Elysium. I say Elysium feels like a video game in the sense like it would be cool to play as Matt Damon shooting stuff and whatever. It would be cool to play as Tom Cruise shooting the aliens and whatnot, but it feels like a video game in the sense when he dies, he comes back. It's like respawning in a video game. It's like if Tom Cruise is playing a video game. Being a video game guy, well, somewhat video game guy, you know what it's like when you're running. It's like, right, dude's up top, snipe him down, right, someone's down there, right, two guys are coming, yeah, right, okay, okay, it's like, right, yeah, come around the corner, damn it, I'm died, right, go back, it's like a video game. It played very well with the story, with, you know, dramatic aspects as well, but it also played with humour. Like, there's just one scene where Tom Cruise is just running and then a car just comes and just smacks him and kills him. They use that to the humour, and that's another good thing. The writing is so funny, but it's just so... It's a great mix. When it's being humorous, it's doing it right. It's not being cheesy, and it's not being, like, cringe-worthy. The humour in this just feels natural, and it feels actually funny. And Tom Cruise, when delivering some funny lines, is good. I think this is... Tom Cruise was fantastic. He didn't just play a generic guy. At the beginning, he played someone that we never see Tom Cruise play. He played a wimp, essentially, which is weird, and then he became the Tom Cruise that we all know. And he was good. He wasn't annoying, and he wasn't hamming it up. He felt natural, and it felt just right for the story. But who I think stole the show in this, Emily Blunt stole the show, I think, honestly. This has been the year for actresses to just exceed. I mean, Scarlett Johansson in Under the Skin, just phenomenal. Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl, phenomenal. Emily Blunt in this, amazing. She is so BA. She's a very empowering woman. She's tough, and she trains Tom Cruise in the film. Yeah. So... if that's not empowering women, I don't know what is, to be fair. But I think she was the best acting part in this film. And every time she was on screen, I was just looking forward to seeing what she does next, just because of how just awesome her character was. And just, I felt empowered watching her, and I'm not a woman. It's like, I felt like, yeah! Fight for England!
It's a rewatchable film.
Yes, I want to get on Blu-ray and I'll be watching the...
I think I'll watch it about twice in the same day.
Yeah, it's that type of film, yeah. One thing that I also did like, the amount of CGI. They used CGI when necessary. The suits were real, a lot of the setting was real, the only thing that was CGI was stuff that needed to be CGI. Like ships flying over, or the aliens. Perfect. If you gave this film to Michael Bay, he would have CGI'd everything. He would have been like, right, CGI the suit, CGI that bit of grass there. They didn't oversaturate us with visual effects.
Like Oblivion.
Yeah, well, I can't speak. Elysium's a great example with that.
Yeah,
it's like, they use CGI when necessary. Soundtrack, I wasn't in love with it, but I liked it. It didn't...
I was expecting a good soundtrack.
Yeah, it didn't stand out, but it didn't... It fit the film. It did its job, I would say, the soundtrack. Now the alien look. You said you didn't like it. I loved it. Because it wasn't a generic alien
so
thing.
stop motion-y and everything.
I like stop motion, that's probably why I got it. But I just like how they're essentially just mist and they just... It's just a cool, unique design that's nothing that we've seen before. It's not like just someone in a suit with a blinking big head or a xenomorph or anything like that. It's just like... this mesh of everything. I love the development of Tom Cruise's character, how he just essentially lived the day, goodness knows how many times. Just the development...
And it's not just a film, Tom Cruise's smug face all over it. Like,
I know, yeah.
You see everything these days.
Yeah. One thing that I really did like was the first time, any time we saw the battle, like the war, it felt like the Normandy beach.
Battle beach, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like...
It was from England to France.
Yeah, yeah. It felt like it felt like the opening of Saving Private Ryan almost. If I had to think of a problem with the film, was that something happened like between Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, at the very end near enough, which I honestly feel like it kind of ruined a bit of their relationship, what happened, which would be a bit of a spoiler. You know what, I'll put a little spoiler, like, just mute when you see this. It might not be a spoiler, but yeah, spoiler, and then it'll go away when they kiss. I kind of feel like it ruined it.
I can't remember that much of an ending.
Yeah, it just felt odd. It's like, because their entire relationship wasn't a romantic relationship. It was just like trainer and trainee. Just, I'm gonna help you out, and we're just gonna be friends. It just felt like, really, you literally did that because she's a female lead and it's a dude lead. So I just didn't feel the need for them to kiss, which kind of felt, oh, really, you did that? But yeah, spoiler gone. Overall, I really like the film. It's one of the best of this year, I think, so far. Honestly, it's a film that...
It's in my top.
Yeah, it's honest. It's better than most blockbusters that came out this summer, honestly. And that's saying something, considering that we had a pretty darn good year, a pretty darn good summer this year.
What about thoughts? Fantastic movie. Go recommend it. Go see it now.
Yeah, we recommend it. So, guys, that's our late review for Edge of Tomorrow, but it's here. And that's our thoughts of Edge of Tomorrow. What did you guys think of Edge of Tomorrow? Comment below, let us know. I wouldn't mind talking about it, honestly, unless if you're going to be a turd about it, then I won't bother. Anyway, links are down below for Twitter and Facebook for all the Heel Pictures crew. Until next time, guys, we shall see you later, and goodbye.
Get heelanized.
Don't do this.